She should have run into my arms that day. The banners, the brass band, the fake smiles of strangers, they all blurred into static the moment I spotted her. My daughter wasn't clapping, wasn't waving. She was crouched behind the bleachers like a stray animal. Her head was shaved in uneven patches. A raw red line dug into her neck, and then I saw it. A dog shock collar. She didn't even lift her eyes fully, just whispered, fragile and terrified, "Daddy, Mommy's boyfriend made me call him father," or "he pressed the button. Mommy said you're a coward, a weak soldier." My chest locked tight. And then she flinched. A jolt ran through her body. He'd pressed it. Somewhere, hidden in the crowd, her tormentor smiled. I stood frozen, my uniform weighing 1,000 pounds. Everyone cheered, blind to the crime unfolding in the shadows. Nobody does that to my child and faces no consequences. Nobody. The celebration blurred. Hugs, cameras, empty congratulations. My wife's lips brushed my cheek like ice. Her perfume was foreign, too sweet, too heavy. Her hand lingered on another man's shoulder. He laughed too comfortably in my home. His teeth too white. His presence too familiar. "Welcome back," she said, eyes flat, smile rehearsed. "Things have changed." Changed. The word clung to me like smoke. At night, I lay in my own bed, a stranger between sheets that smelled faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. She slept soundly, unbothered. I stared at the ceiling, replaying my daughter's whisper, "Weak soldier." Every instinct screamed, but I didn't speak. Soldiers don't break formation at the first sign of fire. I waited, I listened, I watched, and the cracks widened. I moved with precision. Quiet searches while she showered, hidden folders on her laptop, secret calls from burner phones, bank statements that revealed withdrawals she couldn't explain. Her boyfriend wasn't just a lover, he was living inside my walls, using my money, wearing my life like it belonged to him. My daughter avoided me, eyes trained on the floor, flinching at sudden noises. When I tucked her in, I caught the faint burn marks on her collarbone. She whispered apologies for things no child should carry. I told her nothing, promised nothing, just kissed her forehead and walked away, my rage buried deep. Meanwhile, I collected. Evidence stacked quietly. Dates, receipts, messages, photos. She laughed louder now, wore dresses I never saw her wear before, went out with friends too often. I logged every detail. I played the fool perfectly, and she believed it. The DNA report came sealed in a plain envelope. I already knew what it would say. Still, my hands tightened when I unfolded it. The letters blurred, but the truth cut sharp. My daughter wasn't biologically mine. Not by blood, not by betrayal's design. I sat in silence. No tears, no screams, just stillness so absolute it felt like death had entered the room. That night, I placed the report in front of her at the dinner table. My daughter had already gone to bed. The boyfriend wasn't there. It was just us. She glanced down, her face draining of color. "What is this?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She trembled, lips parting, searching for lies. But I stayed cold, composed. My silence screamed louder than any words could. Her mask shattered. The next morning, I waited in the living room. The boyfriend entered like he owned the place. I handed him a small box. Inside, the shock collar, the taser, the evidence. Every scar he left on my daughter, wrapped neatly in his own guilt. He looked at me, joked nervously, but his eyes betrayed him, fear blooming in the hollow spaces. You like being called father? I asked quietly. He froze. She'll never call you that again. I walked out before his lips could form a response, left him drowning in silence, choking on the knowledge that I knew everything. And her? She stood at the top of the stairs, pale, broken, realizing the walls of her lies were collapsing. I didn't touch her, didn't curse her. My absence would carve deeper than any blow. I packed lightly, my daughter's photograph in uniform frame, a small notebook, nothing else. She didn't try to stop me. Neither of them did. They stood in the wreckage of their own making, while I closed the door behind me. On the porch, the night air was sharp, almost clean. My boots hit the pavement in steady rhythm, each step a severing. I'd given her loyalty, sacrifice, years of my life. She gave me betrayal dressed as family. But I wasn't broken. I was awake. The last sound I heard before the darkness swallowed me was the faint whine of a collar being switched on upstairs. Not my problem anymore. I'd already walked away, and I never turned back.